Well, welcome. Good to have everybody here for our refresher webinar, March 2021, a full year of dealing with the COVID pandemic. So today we're going to talk about gratitude and positivity, which might seem a little odd, but it is a week, as you know, for the system to do that. And you know, I've never done this in one of the classes. I've probably mentioned it a number of times, but we've never actually focused on gratitude. But there are a number of meditations and there are a number of things that are directly related to mindfulness. So as I put this slide up here, I'm going to just remind you about the Employee and Family Resources Program. And some of the features of the program, just so you're aware of that. I think you all know about it, but at the end, I actually have a link to the Employee Wellbeing and Resources page, which is off of the intranet. If you've never seen that, it's a great page. It has all the wellness and resiliency and different things that we put together to support employees through the pandemic. We're just one of them. And our mindfulness, all our updates are on there, the phone meditations and all that kind of stuff. So, but this is just a quick summary: work-life resources, the counseling we provide, legal and financial, and then the website, which I think you're probably familiar with the website. So just as a reminder, wanted to tell you about that. I'm getting a message, it's paused. What is that? Well, I'm going to stop. I'm going to start again. Not sure what. Going to be one of those days, I guess. Okay, can you see this, Brother David Steindl-Rast, gratefulness.org?
Yes.
Okay. So let's, hopefully, while I was trying to get things together, let's just take a pause and maybe perhaps if you can make it a grateful pause. We're going to do a gratitude meditation. We're also going to do a meditation towards the end that kind of focuses on, you know, kind of internal positivity, if you will. I'm just checking my emails just to see if anybody else is having trouble. So hold on one sec. Yeah, one other person. Let's see if I can. So this does give you another chance to to pause as I'm. Hold on one second. I want to make sure that person can join. All right. So actually, let's do this. This person, this Brother David Steindl-Rast, I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right. I love his work. He's has a website, gratefulness.org. And this quote I got from one of his YouTubes: "It's not happiness that makes us grateful, it's gratefulness that makes us happy." So to kind of, you know, really twist that around. And there, I'm happy to send these slides out to you afterwards. So you'll have these links. You may have seen this one before. The first one is about 6 minutes or so of photography, and he's narrating it about all the reasons, the many multitude of reasons we have to be grateful. But But actually what I want to show you is there's this other one that I came across, and do a new share. And I'll show you a quick clip of a video that I came across that goes into his work. So let's see if I can get there. So this particular one starts with Louis Schwartzberg, who you'll see basically what his work is, and then he introduces the idea of, goes into Brother Steindl Rast's gratitude video. So we're not going to watch the whole thing. I'm just going to show you a couple of minutes of it, but hopefully you can hear it.
I didn't have much money, but I had time and a sense of wonder. So I started shooting time-lapse photography. It would take me a month to shoot a 4-minute roll of film because that's all I could afford. I've been shooting time-lapse flowers continuously, non-stop, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for over 30 years. And to see them move is a dance I'll never get tired of. Their beauty immerses us in color, taste, touch. It also provides a third of the food we eat. Beauty and seduction is nature's tools for survival because we protect what we fall in love with. It opens our hearts and makes us realize we are a part of nature and we're not separate from it. When we see ourselves in nature, it also connects us to every one of us because it's clear that it's all connected in one. When people see my images, a lot of times they'll say, "Oh my God." Have you ever wondered what that meant? The O means it caught your attention. It makes you present, makes you mindful. The my means it connects with something deep inside your soul. It creates a gateway for your inner voice to rise up and be heard. And God is that personal journey we all want to be on, to be inspired, to feel like we're connected to a universe that celebrates life. Did you know that 80% of the information we receive comes through our eyes? And if you compare light energy to musical scales, it would only be 1 octave that the naked eye could see, which is right in the middle. And aren't we grateful for our brains that can, take this electrical impulse that comes from light energy to create images in order for us to explore our world? And aren't we grateful that we have hearts that can feel these vibrations in order for us to allow ourselves to feel the pleasure and the beauty of nature? Nature's beauty is a gift that cultivates appreciation and gratitude. So I have a gift I want to share with you today, a project I'm working on called Happiness Revealed.
So I'm going to pause it there and go back to the slides. And that's kind of a good setup for moving right into a gratitude meditation, which we'll do now. And but hopefully you could hear that. But isn't his, see that rather, isn't his time-lapse photography beautiful? It's really something. So to start, let's just get ourselves comfortable, and we'll begin our meditation, as we often do, with just establishing mindful presence. And then we'll move into some gratitude. So find a position that's comfortable for you. And take a moment to find that balance between being alert and in the moment, as if interested, but also relaxed and present, as if resting. And you might first notice your body in the chair and the touch points that where the chair supports you. Might take a deep breath or two to relax and feel the breath. You can bring your attention down to your feet and feel the connection that your feet make with the ground. And just really feel grounded through that, through your feet and your body. And just feel your breath moving in and out of the body. Breath is also an anchor, especially when we become lost in thought and our mind wanders. We just simply and gently bring our attention back to our breathing, back to the actual physical sensations of our breath. Even if the mind wanders a lot, if your mind is busy, which it may be at work and lots going on, just keep returning to the breath or the body, using them as an anchor and a gateway to presence. So now that we've established this mindful awareness, bring to mind gratitude. And just simply either something that inspired you by that video, or perhaps even just something very close to home, just being aware of your surroundings. You can open your eyes if you like a little bit. If you are near a window, to look outside and see the beauty of nature as spring approaches. Or you might be aware of your home, and if you're working from home, or your office, and whatever that conjures up in terms of feelings of gratitude. Or you might simply be aware of your family, your loved ones, yourself, your own body, sitting here. What you might be able to tune in into one of those places of gratitude. Or whatever comes to mind when I speak about that. I'm just going to be silent for a moment and just allow you to bring up some feelings of gratitude, whether it's one of those things I mentioned, or a situation, or a person, whatever it might be, just resting in that awareness of being grateful. And take a moment to be specific about it, to kind of, dive into it a little bit. Why are you grateful? Where do you notice it in the body? And just explore that a bit. And as I said, as you do that, just to also mindfully be aware of where you feel that in the body. It might bring some feelings of warmth and comfort in the body somewhere, perhaps in the heart area, but wherever you might notice it, just paying attention to that for a moment. As you reflect on these phrases, and just notice where you feel these as well. I offer my gratitude for the measure of health that I've been given, for the people I've been given to love, and for those who have supported me, for the beauty and wonder of nature, for the knowing mind and the wise heart, and for the work I've been given to do, and for the gifts and talents I can express there. and for my coworkers and colleagues, and all the people at work that support me. I am grateful. So again, just pausing to be aware of where that hits you in a sense, where you notice that in the body, what thoughts arise, what feelings arise, what body sensations are present. And then slowly rising from the meditation as we begin to finish, you might feel yourself again grounded in the chair and your breath, and you can slowly and gradually open your eyes as we finish that meditation. Okay, so thank you, and thank you for your practice. And just curious, I wonder how that was for you. Anybody like to comment? Either speak up, feel free to speak up. You may need to unmute yourself or use the chat feature. What's it like to focus on gratitude in that meditative kind of way?
Well, this is Coralie.
Hi.
It took me to a place where I felt like I was floating.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had all these warm, tingly feeling, especially in the heart region. That warmth was just so present. And, at times I felt like warmth in my abdominal area. But it was a great sensation. It was really good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing. It's a wonderful experience. Any others?
Hi, Bud. It's Candy.
Hi.
And I want to thank you for that because, you know, I always forget to be grateful. And I've really been working hard on trying to be in the moment, focus on my breath, focus on like the right now, like my feet are touching the ground, my hands are on the keyboard, exactly what's going on instead of, letting my mind get overwhelmed. But I never think about gratitude. And when I was listening to that, it reminded me of several things that happened yesterday that I was so grateful for. And I was grateful in the moment. And sure enough, completely forgot about it. So that reminded me today of the things that I was grateful for yesterday. So thank you so much.
Good. That's excellent. We do need to be reminded, or we need to remind ourselves, and I forget as well. I'm going to talk a minute about the negativity bias. So it's just natural for us to be kind of more focused on, well, and especially during the pandemic, that we're more focused on threats and things that are not going well. So it's important that we do take some time to try. And I'll give you some ideas too about what you can do to kind of cultivate that habit of gratitude. Any others? Anybody else like to share what that was like?
Hi, Bud. This is Candy, and actually, I enjoyed the moment that I was able to take to relax, to meditate. I was able to feel my heartbeat, and it reminded me how thankful I have to be that I have life, that I'm able to breathe, that I'm able to see and hear, and have the ability to just get up and move, while others are probably bedbound right this minute. And in looking at the video, it also reminded me of God's creation on the butterflies and looking at the sky and the mountains. It was beautiful. And it allows me to be grateful for you to have this time with us so that we can take out this time to meditate along with one another. So I'm enjoying this moment. Thank you, because I needed it for today. And I think I'm going to need it for the future as well. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. And that's so true. we all those things do remind us, and we as I said, we can make this stronger for ourselves, and it can really make a difference. As you can see, all the benefits that I've listed here that are based on research. But I love the quote, gratitude teaches us to appreciate the rainbow and the storm, which makes me think of a mindfulness, acceptance of what is here, which a number of you touched on. It makes me think of, as you were talking, a quote from John Kabat-Zinn: "There's more right about us than there is wrong." And meditation and mindfulness really helps us get in touch with that. And so it's not about improving ourselves and making ourselves a better person, because there's so much that's right about us already. But it's kind of uncovering the layers that life gives us, and allowing the stuff that's right about us to flourish. So again, there's another link there, The Amazing Effects of Gratitude. I think that's to a TED Talk from a researcher on gratitude, so you might want to watch that later. But here's what I was talking about, that we do have this negativity bias. They've actually shown that in studies that our minds have this kind of focus on the negative side of things. And it's just the way our brains have evolved over millennia. And that you can see the negative experiences stick to the brain like Velcro, positive experiences slide off the brain like Teflon. So we have to work at it. And the second part of neuroplasticity simply means that what we practice becomes stronger and actually creates stronger neural networks as we practice gratitude or some other positive activity. Makes those areas of the brain be stronger. And so that one experience we just had with the meditation was a passing mental state. But if you practice it, a passing mental state becomes a neural mental trait. In other words, it becomes ingrained in your mind, in your brain. So like anything, it takes practice, and it takes some time to really to work on this. So here are some thoughts about cultivating gratitude, starting a journal. When I went on that gratefulness.org site, there is an actual place online there where you can start a journal. But you can there are apps, but you can also just jot down. Apparently, the act of writing it down helps to kind of embed it and solidify it in the brain. So it helps to write it down, whether it's 1 or 2 or 5 things that you're grateful for. And as you said, be specific, go for depth over breadth. You can see some of the guidelines here. But just, if you can, it doesn't have to be every day, but maybe once or twice a week. But you can also do things like write people a thank you note or an email of gratitude, or express that to a friend or a family member or a colleague. Those are all great ways also to, and here are some other suggestions, a gratitude walk. I can remember back at the beginning of the pandemic, it was still spring, right? And remember how many people were out walking and getting outside in their neighborhoods. And it was really wonderful. It was one of those kind of silver linings that came out of it, and made me a lot more aware of my neighborhood, my neighbors, and the nature around, and the animals, and all sorts of things, especially as spring progressed. And we have that coming up too, and it doesn't have to be spring, but we can notice those things as we walk. So you can just, or as you drive, it's another way. I don't drive as much myself as I used to, but it's a nice way to kind of focus on the positive as you're driving. It's so easy to focus on the negative with traffic and other drivers. The caregiving with intention, whether you're a caregiver at work or at home, you can use that as a way to focus on being grateful for your own ability to take care of someone else and to pause and to slow down and do that, and to be more in touch with that person's struggles. And then the link here goes to our EFR website, where we do have, if you haven't been there recently, I've got them categorized now under mindfulness meditations, relax and stress reduction meditations. There's a few COVID-related meditations, and then there's some special focus and guided imagery. There's almost like 30 different meditations on there. So check that out. That link goes right to that page. But the other kind of skill or mindset that goes with this is doing other things. Gratitude is just one of them to overcome the negativity bias. And the link that you see, the first one here, if you want to, this is a TED Talk from Rick Hansen, who's a neuropsychologist, and he talks about how we can overcome the negativity bias. And it's the same kind of thing as when we start a gratitude journal. It's allowing the experience to sink in. And so he talks about how important that is, even if we just spend a little time with whatever it is that's positive. And I'll give you another example of that in a moment. And we let it kind of sink in and almost install like software in the brain, that can make the difference in making that neural network stronger. So there's another link to another gratitude video. And then Make Stress Your Friend is one that I've shown before. It's Kelly McGonigal talking about how we can reframe how we view stress. And I think this is key because so often when stress happens, we focus on how bad it is and how it's affecting us negatively and how it's going to be awful. And we project. It's so easy to project and say, oh, this is going to ruin my life, and this is going to make things awful and terrible going forward. But if we change our perspective, and what she talks about is changing our belief, it's really changing our mindset about stress, that we can realize that stress can really be a helpful and energizing force for us. So might want to watch that as well. But here's a very simple practice, again, that's been shown in the research to be very effective in increasing our happiness levels and our gratitude and our positivity. And that's just simply noting 3 good things at the end of the day. So again, it helps to either record it or tell somebody about it, or spend some time meditating on it. But really, spending some time with 3 good things that happened during the day. That's all, and even if you just want to do 1, but takes our mind off the negative and the things that didn't go quite so well to the positive. So try that. That's your homework. 3 good things. So as we look at this quote, I'll do our last meditation. But I like this quote from Oprah: be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. And if you concentrate on what you don't have, you'll never, ever have enough. So the last meditation that I have for you today is actually a combined meditation of using a smile. And you probably heard me do this. It's been integrated in other meditations. And then we'll also do what's called heart breathing. And I like these 2 for this. It's not specifically focused on gratitude, but I think they're good ways of building our own positivity in a mindful way. All right, so it kind of brings up that whole attitude of friendliness. And this is from Tara Brach, that an attitude of friendliness is a key predictor in setting the stage for a good mindfulness practice. When we add kindness to mindfulness, we get kindfulness. And so we have to be careful, because sometimes we even can critique the way we meditate. I'm not doing it right, or my mind keeps wandering, I have too many thoughts. Those things can easily surface. But don't worry about that. That's not the point. The point is to notice if those things happen, if you have a busy mind and lots of thoughts are distracting you, and to keep returning to mindful presence through the breath or the body, or even just to explore what those thoughts are. I mean, we have a whole meditation on thoughts, and that's another way to be aware of that. But the point is to be kind and friendly to ourselves. And as we're going through this training, in a sense, we're training just like we train a puppy. If we train a puppy to, to go outside and do his business, or to not chew the furniture, the best, most effective way is to do that with kindness and not with, not with a newspaper, for example. So through the practice, when we do this, is we learn to befriend ourselves, and that's so important. So let's do the meditation. And again, just be comfortable, find that nice, stable position, balance between relaxed attentiveness and sitting in a way that kind of exemplifies that for you. You can close your eyes, or if you'd rather, you can keep a soft, unfocused gaze down in front of you. And taking a few deep breaths, filling the chests and the lungs, lengthening the inhale, and slowly and evenly exhaling. Breathing in deep, feeling that fresh air come in. Breathing out long and slow, releasing, relaxing, letting go. And see if you can bring a relaxed attention to your eyes and allow them to soften. Allow the jaw to be unhinged. And bring awareness to your neck and shoulders and allow them to drop and relax, like ice melting to water and water dissolving to gas. Let your hands rest in an easy, effortless way, softening and relaxing from the inside out. And you might notice any sensations in the hands, tingling, pulsing, warmth or cold. Let your chest be open. Feel the sensations in the heart area, softening and letting go. Let the belly be loose and relaxed. Relax the entire pelvic region. And just release any tension that you notice, letting your attention flow all the way down to your legs and feet. And amidst this field of sensations, noticing the breath as it moves in and out of your body, and just be aware of the gentle rhythm of your breathing. And allow a smile to settle on your face. If it helps, think of something or someone that naturally makes you smile or laugh. A child playing, or maybe a puppy or a kitty playing, or whatever works for you. And feel your smile spread towards your eyes, feeling the eyes and the skin soften, and sensing the outer corners of your eyes uplifted by your smile. And sense the smile at your mouth, and sense the inside of the mouth and your cheeks smiling. And visualize and feel the smile spread to your chest and heart, and create a tender space for whatever you find there as the smile grows into this area. And spend a moment or so just resting your awareness right here in the heart area. as you breathe, imagine that you can breathe right into the center of your chest, almost as if your nostrils were on your chest or over your heart. And as you breathe in, sense that quality of expansion deepen, as if the breath were nourishing and strengthening the heart. And as you breathe out, sense the breath exhaling, almost as an offering from your heart. And do that for a few breaths. Breathing in, sensing the breath nourishing and strengthening the heart. And breathing out, sensing the breath exhaling outward as an offering from the heart. And you can bring to mind, if you like, something that brings you strength or inspires you. For some, it may be religious aspect or faith, or for others, it might be your deepest motivation for the work you do or your family. Kind of remembering the big why or the big purpose for what we do, for what we value. Could be thinking about the community around us that supports you and that you support. Really anything that brings a sense of strength or inspiration, or positive motivation. And actually imagine breathing it right into your heart, and it's strengthening and nourishing your heart. And as you breathe out, you're sending that intention or motivation out into the world around you, so that you're connecting to your compassionate strength, taking it into yourself and sending it out as an offering. In for you, out for others. And again, just noticing what that's like, that nourishing of the heart, sending care and compassion to ourselves, and then sending it outwards to others. And so now again, returning our awareness to our body in the chair and maybe taking another deep breath and finishing that final meditation for our refresher webinar today on the smile and heart breathing. So again, thank you very much for being with me, and I'm very grateful for your mindful participation in these webinars. It's so good to have you tune in and be with me on this journey. This last slide I'll just show that's the employee wellbeing and resources page on the intranet that links right to it, that has lots of different resources. So keep that in mind too, if you're ever looking for updates on things in the system that are supporting us. So thank you all. Thank you for being with me, and wish you a great day and the rest of your day, as well as trying to cultivate more gratitude. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bud.
You're welcome. Be well, be mindful.
Thanks, take care.
All righty, take good care.